So we have been talking about the death of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, best known for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. He died while on a family vacation in Costa Rica when authorities say he got caught in a high current and then unfortunately drowned. Well, Matt Gunn, co-owner of Revel Surf, joins us this morning with how swimming in the ocean, it's very, very different from swimming in an actual swimming pool, which we do see a lot of times. Matt, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for joining us here to kind of explain this. We were just chatting about the idea that water always wins, you said, and so swimming in the ocean is so different from swimming in a swimming pool.
Yeah, it's very different because you're dealing with waves and you're dealing with currents, right? And you have two of those things. So the ocean is a beautiful place and it's so inviting, but then it can be really uninviting in the wrong conditions for based on your experience.
Yeah.
So you see surfers all the time in the water and they're very comfortable, and when the waves get big, they are even more excited.
Yeah.
Swimmers is a little different. You got to know what to do.
And so let's say we were talking about how when we see the waves coming in, but what is actually going on underwater in a situation where we might be swimming out in the ocean?
Yeah, so the waves are coming in and they're breaking in more shallow water, which makes you more comfortable, right? It's shallow. And when the water comes in, it wants to find its release and go back out to sea. And so the water finds its way through deeper areas, and then it creates what's called a rip, or a rip current. And so a rip current will pull you, and it'll pull you right out to sea. You know, can be hundreds of yards, which is pretty scary.
Yeah, absolutely. What should you do if you're caught in one of those rip currents or rip tides?
So if you're caught in a rip current, you're not going to be able to swim back to shore, which is what most do, and then you get really tired and then you get in real trouble. So you need to swim along shore to get out of the current, and then you can swim into shore. So it's a little bit opposite of what you would think.
Is there ever a time where you just, and I've read this, is you just let go? Like, let's say you're initially caught in the rip tide. Do you just release and not fight against the ocean at first, because no matter how strong you are, you're not going to win?
Yeah, I mean, you could be Michael Phelps and you're not going to win. You're not going to get to shore, right? So what I love about surfing is it teaches you to remain calm in chaos, because the waves are aggressive and big at times. And so you have to first just pause and calm and stay calm, and then kind of assess which direction you want to swim and go along shore. And then when you feel that release from the current, then you can go ahead and swim to shore.
Are there things from the shore that give you a good indication of what the conditions are underwater out in the ocean? Like if you're taking a look and you're saying, okay, we want to go swimming here, we're going to swim out about 20 feet, maybe swim there. Is there something going on underwater we can see from the surface?
Yes, so you can typically tell where there's a rip current. The water, there'll be no waves breaking in that area, and it's kind of choppy. So you'll see choppy, and sometimes it's circular, and you'll see the water moving. So if you see those signs, that's your first cue to get a side of it and get out of that area. That's the best sign.
And so much of it, I think, is also weather related, right? And what's going on maybe far out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Are there some days, obviously, to avoid, obviously stormy days, murky waters, things like that?
Yeah, so when the waves are 2, 3, or 4 feet tall, pretty safe for most swimmers. When you get 5, 6 feet or beyond, you get bigger waves, the currents go up exponentially, and that's what you got to watch for. And there are things like you can go to surfline.com and they give you wave and swell and wind and weather, and you can know before you go of what you're going to see.
Or we just go to your place where it's more, you know, controlled.
Or just go to Revel. We can turn the wave on and off. So, and what's interesting with our pools, I mean, we do create a very slight rip current in our pools.
Oh, interesting.
We recreate nature, and so we have shallow areas and deep channels, and we fortunately can turn them on or off.
Yeah, so you get an idea of what it feels like and how to maybe respond in those situations.
Yeah.
Matt, thank you so much for your time this morning. Website for Revel Surf?
RevelSurf.com, and if you sign up on our newsletter there, then you learn about all of our programs, things we're doing, like junior lifeguards, where we're teaching about ocean safety, things like that. So,
okay, great. Matt, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Danielle is, well, she's getting a little R&R this morning.